Yeah.
That substitute teacher that was fired on her first day was not ready to step foot in no classroom. Getting told that you look like one of the students is not the compliment that you thought it was. They were saying that you look childish. It wasn't giving professionalism, is what they're saying. Why are we wearing big chains to go sub a classroom? Are you coming to teach or are you coming to impress? And can we talk about the damn shorty? Who's the shorty? Not that child that you were recording, that you should have never been recording in the first place.
Damn, shorty. Sheesh. Man, I gotta get up out these school kids trying to take me down.
These kids aren't trying to take you down, they're trying to exist in their own school, and they're becoming a part of your vlog for some reason. You taking these videos of these random children and sexualizing them is so weird to me. What's wrong with you? I was really trying to see if there was a way that I can make this costume look a little bit less ridiculous than it is. But there is no way I can, there's no way I can take myself serious while I'm wearing this. So we're just gonna have to deal with that. And I hope this bell stops ringing at some point. But hello everybody and happy Halloween. But today we're not gonna be discussing my costume. No, we're actually gonna be discussing the trials and tribulations of the handmade CEO, also known as the Studstitute by the internet. And I'm just sorry, but that nickname is just so insane to me. A lot of people have been covering the situation. This influencer going by the name of the handmade CEO. And sorry, I just have to talk about her bio on TikTok real fast because I think it's just so funny. Oh, and they went private. I was gonna make a quippy joke about their TikTok bio, which I think was very funny because it said, yes, I am that teacher. Yes, I'm sorry, but I'm also single. Like, I love the combination. But the gist of the Studstitute situation is that for some reason, she decided to sign up for a job as a substitute teacher and vlogged the first day. And you know, I think that's already an interesting choice, but there's also been a lot of conversation recently about things like vlogging at work. Like, when you first get a job, to instantly have the confidence, the gall to be like, yeah, I'm also gonna do content creation on the side. Unless that's like specifically in the job requirements. It'd be different, I guess, if it was like an office job or something, right? Where you're not really being constantly supervised. Well, I guess as a teacher, you're not constantly supervised, but I do think it's certainly a choice to decide to vlog on the first day. And there has been a lot of conversation about the creation of content from work. Working and work content has really become its own genre, but there's also been a lot of controversy surrounding the whole work genre on TikTok. For example, there's that Ulta manager who got fired from her job at LA's airport after literally being a walking security violation, basically showing us where the cash register is, how to get through airport security, basically everything. Like, that video really just shocks me because there's no way she thought she wasn't gonna get fired. Like, that had to be rage bait. Like, she had to be tired of that job and was like, I need a quick way out. How do I get clout? How do I make a splash on the way out? But there's also content creators who didn't necessarily do like insane things in their content necessarily, like Hub's Life, who made a living off of his content really being, oh, having a 9 to 5 is okay. But of course, after he got that level of fame, that level of success online, a 9 to 5 job was not okay for him anymore. And he left that lifestyle. That made a lot of people very upset. And side note, I've been to an airport several times, but I really do wonder who is actually shopping. Like seriously, when I'm in the airport, and I'm not even like the type of person, like sometimes we'll be in the airport and have quite a long time, like quite a long layover to like do things, but I'm just the type of person, like when I'm waiting on my departing flight, I'm actually usually extremely stressed and concerned the entire time. There's no chance I'm stopping at the Kylie lip kit vending machine or taking like an hour to shop for Ulta Beauty. I guess you've already gotten through security because I was gonna say, what about the liquid limit? But at the same time, I want to sit down at my gate, maybe take a nap, maybe charge my phone. Like, I don't want to actually walk around and go shopping. But side tangent over. But as work becomes content, the question arises, is teachfluencing ethical? I mean, when you're literally working 24/7 around kids, can you effectively make content without crossing boundaries? And where is the line? Like, is it at showing students, incorporating their voices? Also, I really do think it becomes murkier when you look at the reason why a lot of teachers are doing this. Because yeah, 1,000% yes, there are a lot of teachers who are kind of just doing it for the love of the game. There are some teachers who might have a better economic background, a better economic standing, but teachers as a whole in a lot of districts across the country are absolutely not being paid what they deserve. In fact, teachers are basically infamously underpaid. Imagine having the potential to get sponsorships, $1,000 brand deals, and all you have to do is cross a few ethical boundaries. So I do think it also opens a very interesting conversation into teachfluencing as well. So join me today as we dive deep into the entire Studstitute situation, because this is just really absolutely insane situation, and I think there's a massive conversation to be had here, not only about the entire studfluencer situation and the impact that it had on like students, which we'll talk about, but also the intersection between teachfluencing, social media and everything, and just what professional standards really are now, especially as Gen Z enters the workplace, and in a lot of districts, teachers are something that is super sorely needed. But before we get into this juicy conversation, I did want to take a quick break to thank today's sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. With the amount of insane and distracted drivers on the roads, it's incredibly likely that you'll find yourself injured in a car accident. I've personally seen the incredible toll that car accident injuries can take on people. A very close family member would find herself hurt following the actions of a negligent car rental company, which failed to maintain their brakes, leading her to barrel into an oncoming truck. Thankfully, they ended up being okay, but not only did they have to deal with the direct impact of their injuries, they also had to deal with hours of appointments with lawyers, drawn out courthouse updates, and the costs of litigation. And that's why the injury firm you choose to represent you in these cases is so important. There's a reason why Amelia Perez did not win Best Picture, just like there's a reason why Morgan & Morgan is America's largest personal injury law firm that has over 1,000 attorneys in all 50 states that fight for justice. Morgan & Morgan has gotten over $25 billion for their clients over the years, and that's because they aren't afraid of fighting and taking the insurance companies head on. And this is clearly shown in their results for clients. After an insurance offer of only $350,000, a client in Florida got paid over $12 million. Another client got over 40 times the insurance company's $650,000 offer, getting over $26 million. And even when it feels hopeless, Morgan & Morgan pulls through, getting a client in Florida $20 million when the final offer was literally nothing. That's because when you hire Morgan & Morgan, it's like hiring a legal army that has your back. Not all law firms are made equal, so if you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win, and you can start your claim now by clicking the link in the bio down below or scanning the QR code that you can see on screen with your phone's camera. Thank you so much to Morgan & Morgan for supporting the channel. And honestly, I was going to get into more context, but there's really just so much to discuss here and we have to get through a lot today, so we're just going to get straight into the infamous video, which really got her a lot of controversy.
I'm a school teacher now. Breakfast. Let's get the day rolling.
I'm not even trying to immediately be a hater, but like, let's just take a look at that breakfast, because what is that? Lunchables, Gatorade, sour Skittles, and it looks like maybe a frozen dinner. I mean, I'm not judging. Listen, honestly, a lot of my meals can look like this when I'm feeling a little bit tired, but like...
Breakfast. Let's get the day rolling. Who would have ever thought?
We're just really starting off strong by recording random students in the hallways as we're walking in to clock into our first shift. I'm just really struggling to figure out like how I'm supposed to believe that this person is taking this seriously in any way, shape, or form. And also laughing at the fact that people are wondering, like, is that a teacher? It's like, no, maybe you should have actually, not to be like that person, right? Because I think there is room for people to dress kind of like how they want in their workplace, right? I absolutely do hate this like professional standard where like, oh, you have a septum piercing, you're not allowed to work here. Or, oh, you have a tattoo, like a small tattoo. Wow, that's not professional at all, right? I hate that culture. But I also hate the idea that like we should totally abolish like any standards of dress. And also, I will acknowledge that like these standards of dress do, I think, disproportionately impact women, right? Even going back to school, like, I remember dress codes, literally, basically the boys could wear whatever they wanted, and the girls were constantly getting dress coded day after day, right? But I do think there is a balance. I think we saw a lot of, like, conversations around this last year when we had the office siren trend and the person who allegedly was fired for their internship, which I don't know if that was confirmed real. I'll try to put something here. But, like, that was such an interesting era, and I do really think we're seeing the consequences of, like, people just totally thinking they could just do, like, because... we'll see more of the fit later, right? And I think we saw a little bit of the fit in the beginning, but like, why are we clocking into our first day at work looking like this. Like, what?
Yes, ma'am. Have a good day. Today.
Like, we are not making good first impressions here. We're actually making very, very bad first impressions. I don't think that's something to laugh about or like a compliment. Of course, nobody seemed to say anything about it because we're going to talk about this more later, but it really does seem to me like this district was probably desperate for substitute teachers. But like, yeah, immediately making a bad first impression at your job is probably just not something you want to do.
It was really a breeze. My kids ain't had to do too much, man. I really, to be honest, I let them do whatever they want to do. Yes, I'm that type of teacher.
Now, some people will say like, saying that is obviously not good, right? Like to a public audience online, but also substitute teachers, I do feel like are held to a lesser standard. So like, so far what we're seeing, I'm gonna be honest, is it the best representation of like what you could show? Like, what would I show that? Like, if I was in her position, I was working a substitute teaching job, would I show this to my employers or want my employers to see this? Absolutely not. But we're about to get into what actually got her in a lot of trouble and what actually got her probably fired. Randomly recording our students in the hallways, because that's what we do as a teacher.
Damn, shorty. Man, I gotta get up out these school kids trying to take me down, man. Then I look so...
Bro, the fact that all she did was look at you, like, can you not look at somebody? And I know this is narration, but I think that makes it actually worse. The fact that you were at home, you sat down, you edited this video, you added the voiceover, and you were like, yeah, I'm gonna keep that point where I call probably a young student a shorty, which obviously has romantic connotations. Also, the fact that you're emphasizing, oh, I gotta get out of here before you take me down. These kids aren't trying to take you down. They're trying to exist in their own school, and they're becoming a part of your vlog for some reason.
Well, young, I look like one of them. Appreciate it. You know, my little free time, I had to go out there and give me some little content. Little fit check. Really just a chill fit today. Cause y'all know if it was up to me, I would have been rough fine head to toe. Yeah, I know I ain't lying. But they did have a pep rally and came click. And that was the typical day.
So that is the video that caused all this controversy. Now, is it the worst thing on earth? No. Is it good at all? No, it's actually pretty bad. And I think it actually reflects pretty badly on her. My immediate thought here, right, is that this is a rage. Like, I'm actually confused, right? Because we'll see later that, you know, she might have actually been financially struggling and this might have been a side hustle. But like, what if that's the case, right? Why risk your entire professional career, your entire professional life on one single TikTok? This is either the worst rage, the rage bait that like just blew up in her face, right? Or this is just an extremely bad decision made by someone who legitimately needed that job, right? So either way, it's just a really insane situation. But let's just look at some of the comments because I think public sentiment was immediately just not on her side. Saying damn shorty to kids is crazy. Her breakfast consisted of Skittles. That says it all, something is not right. It's the fake teaching behind the podium for me that she filmed. Now we get into some more like insulting commentary. Why she talked like this? How'd I know it was DeSoto? She couldn't wait to get all that attention from them kids. This doesn't even seem real. It's like a skit. No one feels like mental health evaluations should be a requirement when working with kids in any aspects, just me. And a lot of people also did point to like hiring practices, like did someone do a background check on her social media? Did someone look at her social media like at all? Was there any sort of background or like, I don't know, like, because this is actually reading as super insane to me. And there really is a lot to get through here, but let's just discuss how weird, like this is giving reliving my high school years, and not to be hateful to anyone, right? But I have such a weird feeling about people who are so obsessed with high school, especially after they graduate. Maybe not after you just graduate, but after it's been a few years of you like being an adult. I understand that being an adult sucks, and it's so different to have like nostalgia for like high school in the sense that like, oh, I didn't have as many responsibilities, but to have nostalgia for the concept of high school, to have nostalgia and want to go back over and over and over again, unless you're involved in some sort of program or you actually want to like help inspire these kids. But like the people who go back to every single one of their high school homecoming games, I just have a weird feeling. Okay, if you're obsessed with high school after you graduate, like why are you as a grown person so excited and happy to hear that you look like a student, not only from the students but also from the teachers? It gets to a point where I'm going to be looking at you sideways and oddly. And like again, if you have a sibling or something, totally different. If you're constantly like wanting and yearning to go back to your high school physically as a grown person, it's like, what are we doing? And this whole thing, right, makes me wonder why she even wanted to do this in the first place. I know she said at first this was part of the hustle, but like I was saying, getting fired on your first day for recording these students, I thought immediately that this had to be rage bait, right? Because being a teacher in any capacity is very hard, but like the benchmark to be fired, I feel like in a lot of districts, like it's low-key kind of unheard of for a lot of teachers to get fired. Unless the district is unfortunately doing some things like layoffs, unless like a lot of the time the firing comes from very heinous stuff. It's not like a school in most cases, right? A public school is gonna fire you, even if you're like having a very badly performing like class. Like even if you're, let's just say if you're not meeting like these state testing metrics, I feel like it takes a lot for a school to want to like terminate your contract, fire you, and basically tell you to leave. The baseline I feel like is don't be creepy, don't do anything illegal, and I feel like you failed, and it wasn't that hard. Also, we have to talk about how creepy her actions were, right? As an adult, to call a student shorty and say they're gonna get you in trouble, it reads as rage bait to me, right? Because I don't immediately, but it's just a very bad look. It's very creepy, it's problematic, not even just if you were a teacher, but as an adult in general. And this brings me to another point. I'm just so grateful to not be younger right now, because while I might say, like, my school experience wasn't that far removed from this, right? I'm 20, like, so, but yes, we were recording everything when we were in school. Like, yes, every minorly embarrassing thing that you did was posted on Snapchat. But the rise of TikTok has really, I feel like, changed everything. Like, now there's a chance that the most embarrassing thing you did or the embarrassing thing that your classmate posted about you could literally go viral. Like, everything is sent to the TikTok algorithm gods and now has a chance to haunt you for life. And it doesn't even have to be your friends now. It doesn't even have to be like a classmate. Your teacher could be trying to be an influencer, and all of a sudden you're in the background of some video getting turned into a meme getting bullied. God forbid you're in your cringe era and end up in the background of some substitute teacher's TikTok. Now, like, a lot of people in the comments were kind of discussing that they were kind of concerned on how she even got hired. I really thought there was a nationwide teacher shortage, but I was kind of educated by the r/teacher Reddit because it really seems to be something that's more so location based. There's a teacher shortage, they say, yet why are teachers getting laid off? Everywhere I hear there's this huge teacher shortage all over the country, yet where I am, Twin Cities Metro, teachers and support staff are getting laid off in almost every district. I was a support staff worker, but they're cutting half our department, so I left. But it's so frustrating to hear how short-staffed schools are, yet they're doing so many layoffs. Is it like this all over the country? The shortage only appears in certain locations and certain subjects. Otherwise, I've applied to social studies positions where the principal mentioned they've received 300 applications or more. Teacher shortage are discipline and location dependent. Trust me, we have the opposite problem on Long Island and NYC. Few positions for thousands of qualified applicants. And then someone brings up a really good point here. There's no teacher shortage. There's a shortage of qualified people who are willing to put up with the litany of abusive things going on in public education, such as micromanagement, lack of discipline and accountability, low pay, subpar working conditions, no advancement, and I could go on, but I digress. And I looked at this incident which did occur in Mississippi, specifically in DeSoto County, which is kind of like right under Memphis. Now, according to this graph, which is kind of showing the shortage subject areas that they have in Mississippi, DeSoto County is listed as having over 75 shortages. And now this is just speculation, so I don't know 100%, but given the location, given like, you know, I don't think a lot of people are really hankering to move to Mississippi. They might have very well been dealing with the teacher shortage, and I think this could explain exactly how this person was hired. Now, I do feel like at the same time, this does really call into question their screening and like social media policies as it pertains to teachers. Because when people started digging deeper into her social media presence, I do have to say that her original TikTok was banned, which I do find actually crazy. Like, yeah, we're gonna talk about the get ready with me's and a lot of the stuff that she was posting that people had found issues with. But let's just say a lot of her content before this seems to be freak-based and freak-oriented, like, and I do have to talk about this because this is something that's also weighing heavily on me about this, entire situation, right? I had this concept that every single job would basically scour all of your social medias, your entire social media presence, look you up and down, and if you had one questionable post, you would be like destroyed. That was what was ingrained into my head by like teachers of like computer safety classes, that type of thing. So the fact that like nobody saw this person who literally has quite a large social media presence, like this person she has over like 100,000 followers on Instagram. So the fact that nobody like saw or looked for anything or like is kind of beyond me. But let's just take a look down her Instagram. POV me responding to the messages of them telling me all the freaky stuff they gonna do when they see me. Now, this isn't the worst thing in the world that you could post, right? Trust me, I've seen a lot worse, okay? I've seen a lot worse on social media. But at the same time, to have this up on your page and like, this got quite a bit of attention, 193,000 likes on this post, meaning that a lot of people saw this. So the fact that nobody thought to like check their social media or like look into things at least a little bit is kind of crazy to me. But what really got me and a lot of other people calling out and focusing on what they were posting is the wearing of, and you know, there's discourse around this, right? Some people are saying that this is not something known as a strap, but basically, regardless of what it is, whether it's a strap or a packer, it is a giant, basically, let's just say a giant object that she puts in her pants every day. And it is very, very, very visible in a lot of these videos. And I don't know if this is like a rage bait tactic, but like she will like grab it and stuff. So I think she actually wears this under her clothes, and at least for the video. Get ready with me with all the clothes I made. And you can, yeah, there's something there, okay? That is a lot. I'm probably gonna have to put a censor bar over that, at least for the first part. Girl, you wear that outside? Have you used it at? I don't think she was playing, y'all. Given mad vibes wearing that into a children's school. I will say, we don't know if she wore this into the school in that video, but I do think, you know, given the fact that this has been a rage bait tactic in other videos, I wouldn't put it past her, right? And I really hope that she didn't wear this into the school. And, you know, it would be a totally different thing entirely, right? If this was something that was like, you know, gender affirming or like, you know, because there are things like people call them packers that are made for like, you know, FTM men or like just people in general who want that like gender affirming kind of like boost. But like, I feel like it's entirely different when you're in a school environment and you're going to be around kids all day. Also, like, just in general, right? A lot of those things, like the packers that are made to be more affirming, are sized anatomically correctly and, like, I don't want to say normally, right? Because people's bodies vary, but also, like, this is a very obvious object that is, you know, calling out attention. I'm trying not to be explicit here, guys. I'm so sorry. But this is a very obvious object, right? So for that to be very visible in public around whoever, right? I think you gotta be careful, especially if you're gonna work in a school. So like, again, it comes to like, did anybody check her social media? Did anybody look into her social media presence or look into who she actually was or what she actually did before they decided to just hire her? And it gets worse. I'm gonna be so real because as someone who's really aware of just how prevalent rage bait is online, I didn't think she actually wore these, but apparently she, at least in these videos she did, and would repeatedly feature them. I'm just gonna call them as props, and I mean props in the way that she would grab them, touch them. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be super descriptive here, but like, this is what's happening, guys. This video is titled, "The Content of the Substitute Teacher That Was Fired." Yeah, you can very obviously see it there. And you know, I'm just gagging because there's no way you're wearing this in like real life. Like, what are we doing? Like I was saying earlier, I didn't think she wore it, but like, I'm pretty sure something's moving here. And we're grabbing things. So I guess we are wearing this under our clothes. Now again, people are calling this out in the comments. Adding the strap to outfits is crazy, not gonna lie. They didn't check her socials before hiring her. Got fired. How did she get hired? She's strapped up for school. Yo, when I grew up, I was told jobs would check your social media. I guess not. I guess not too, because I feel like this is something that you would immediately clock, like just to scroll and you'll find one of these videos where she's clearly wearing either a strap or a packer underneath her clothes. So I guess digital footprint is literally just an illusion because no one saw this when you were hiring her. Now I know things have gotten a little bit lighthearted at times because, to be honest, the fact that she's wearing this every single day and it's that big, it's like that noticeable, is actually sending me. It's quite frankly ridiculous, and I feel like it would be uncomfortable, right? But there is a serious aspect of this entire thing, right? One of the students who was featured in the video, without their consent, mind you, literally had to come on the internet and basically defend themselves. Like, people were blaming an entire child for the situation, which is like, you just have to be, like, this is crazy. And it really does show how, like, this teachfluencing thing actually has an impact on students, actually has an impact on people.
Damn, shorty. Sheesh. Man, I gotta get up out these school kids trying to take me down.
Everybody has seen this video everywhere, and if you haven't, Just go watch it. So there was this substitute teacher at our school that made a really weird comment to one of my friends. The comments on that video are talking about how it's her fault because she was staring.
Which is crazy. How are you, like, the internet always never fails to make me mad, because I guess it just, everybody's on there, right? And you're gonna get these insane, stupid takes. No, it's not the child's fault for looking at her. The child literally didn't even say anything. The child literally, like, she literally was just, like, looking up and down. Like, if someone's holding a phone and recording you like this, you know, this is the same substitute that seemed to be drawing a lot of attention for looking like a student. I would be kind of looking and staring a little bit and maybe concerned a little bit too. Like, I don't think it's insane. I don't think it's that insane of a jump that the student was, like, that she was just looking at her.
Posting this on my account because I have a bigger following and she wants to talk about it. So here's my friend Kamira.
So I'm Kamira. I keep getting bullied for no reason. It was a comment that she posted on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And my mom actually, like, my mom knows about this. Why everybody be like, I'm grown for looking at a grown woman. But if somebody was recording you from, like, right here, looking at you, you're going to look at them, apparently. Like it's like common sense to look. The second thing is, I am not grown. There was a lot of comments made that, like, I'm grown. The second thing is, I am not the reason she got fired. She was the reason she got herself fired. You gotta know that the whole school saw it. Every coach, every teacher, everybody saw the video. She posted on every platform that she has, so it's not even I told. Third, my volleyball team went to state, and I'm on a cheer team. Walking around the school when they had like a mini parade, so it's a lot of cameras in your face because everybody's recording you. If she had her camera like this, okay, I smile. But she had her camera like she wanted to talk about somebody. So grown people that they don't have nothing to do with it. Like, I was looking like, look, and then look, they're still talking. Look at this. Do you not see this? You know I'm supposed to record students after they're sent. Her apologies. Some teachers record students.
Ask for consent.
Yeah, it's common sense. She didn't ask for consent. She walked around the whole school recording kids. I'm not even bashing her about it, but it's just the simple fact that y'all blaming me for what happened and I didn't even do anything.
We're not even trying to like be mean towards the sub because sub may have not meant it in a weird way, but it was just like taken like weirdly. Actually calling her the thing she called her. Just kidding. She made an apology video and her apology video was good. If you're gonna make an apology video about a video that you messed up about, why aren't you taking it down? And I think the reason that she is not taking it down is because she is so worried about the likes.
Yeah. But she said that every student was around her and we knew her. Nobody knew her. The reason I know her is because I have a job. I'm not gonna say where I work at this year. I have a job and she be at my job. I said I was staring at her like I wanted her. I'm sure. I've
never seen that person before. I've never heard about her. No. She has a lot of followers.
And I really do wonder, like, if this is going to be a major problem in the future. Like, are we going to have teachers or people who come into, like, basically jobs? Are we going to have people who come into work, but actually in reality, the only thing they want is content? The only thing they want is, like, to get clout off the situation? Like, are you going to clock into your job at a fast food restaurant and suddenly you're working right alongside a person who literally has no care in the world for their actual job? Because I feel like substitute teaching is such a specific thing. So it's like, did she actively seek out being a substitute teacher? And I also think that this video does demonstrate how this entire situation extends so much further beyond just being drama. Like, I hate how TikTok is actually impacting kids in school. Like, now not only do kids have to deal with growing up in a society where they're held to impossible standards, they have to worry about their teachers and something as simple as a stare becoming discourse online. Like, I really think that's crazy. Now, to get into the apology and the GoFundMe, yes, she did ultimately address the situation, I think, very poorly, and we do need to have a conversation about this apology, if I can find it, because she did go entirely private on TikTok. So instead of watching the first video, because apparently that's been deleted, probably because it was not a very good apology video, I'm going to try to insert a clip, at least, of like the 30 seconds I can find from like a Stitch, and I think other people also have it in full, right? It's 4 minutes long. Let's watch her second video, where she tries to explain why exactly she needs a GoFundMe page after being fired from this job for obvious wrongdoing, right? Because, you know, maybe we're wrong, maybe we don't know what's going on, maybe she knows exactly what's going on, and let's just watch this.
I'm pretty sure by now y'all know my face. The substitute that got fired over TikTok. Before I do get started, I do once again want to apologize to the young ladies in the video and their parents. The consistent backlash is sick. A lot of people keep on saying, get her from around the kids, keep her from around the kids. Man, I'm actually a great person to have around your kids. You get what I'm saying? Great mentor. Had always been on.
That's not what you showed in the video. And I will say, like, I get it, right? In some ways, I'm like, you know, what she did wasn't the worst thing in the world, but it also was very creepy and clearly had an impact on children, right? These children are having to deal with online bullies. Like, this girl is having to deal with online bullies just for looking at her in a video because you were the one who started that. Ultimately, it was your content which started that and which gave this girl all this online hate and backlash to deal with. So, like, just a modicum of accountability would be nice instead of you pointing out how bad the backlash has been. Imagine how bad it's been for this person who not only has to deal with high school, grades, friends, the entire system. Like, high school is just such a stressful experience without having to be blasted online. So you blasting this child online, you taking these videos of these random children and sexualizing them is so weird to me. What's wrong with you?
Oh, straight. Never been a loose screw. You get what I'm saying? Do not let the tattoos fool you. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all clearly mischaracterizing me. Young adult, went to college, played ball, active sports. Grades always been A1. Like, what y'all saying don't fit me, baby. I see how it may come across, but I'm not that freaky to be sitting up talking about kids like that.
I'm not that freaky. Mind you, there's several videos of you literally being freaked out on the internet. A lot of your content, a lot of your popular content is literally you being freaky. So why are we upset about people thinking that you're freaky?
Like, genuinely, like, it just sick. I'm not an over-sexualized person. Like, I don't even do that with adults. I'm not going to do that with kids and let alone put that on my platforms. If my intentions were sick like that, why would I broadcast it across my page when I know I'm a content creator?
Because you wanted to rage bait.
That really don't make sense to me. It's like y'all think people don't make mistakes. I did not know, because why would I post it if I knew that I couldn't post kids? Regardless of the situation, my intentions were never bad, genuinely. Like, nothing inappropriately crossed my mind, like, at all. I'm not that type of person. Every day it's getting worse. Why are you guys constantly making this a thing if I've already got fired? I've already got fired. Why is it constantly being a thing with the...
Because you posted it. I never understand why people online will post something and are shocked that it becomes public discourse, especially after backlash. Because it's like, you posted this online. People are going to talk about it. People literally talk about the dumbest things online and make that like 3-hour videos, 3-hour discourses. Like, you are going to become discourse. I don't know what you thought was going to happen from this video. Like, oh, I'm just going to become famous. I'm just going to be a teacher, content creator. Like, what are you talking about? I'm really confused.
Consistent backlash and posting. I have not only lost that job, but I've lost my main job as a DSP, direct support professional. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've had that job for a year. My main job is down the drain. That is sick. I've lost not only one job, but 2 jobs to this situation.
Like, that sucks. But also, again, you have to realize that your actions do have consequences. And, like, you posting online, right? You got to be careful with what you post. You've got to, like, actually realize, like, oh, my other job could be looking at this. Oh, everybody could be looking at this. Like, that's crazy.
When I clearly only made a mistake, I posted it and I'm a content creator. Why would I do that if that was my intentions? It literally does not make sense. It's like...
It doesn't make sense why you posted the video in the first place. In my opinion, I'm not even trying to be nasty, right? I'm not even trying to be rude or whatever, but, like, I'm legitimately struggling to find what she doesn't understand about this entire situation. What people don't understand about the fact that the internet is going to actually have consequences. Like, I also hate an apology that does not take accountability at all and is kind of just like, I'm so sorry that you felt that way. The way that the girls and the people who were actually impacted by the situation made up like 0.1% of like the first part of the video is so crazy to me.
Like, y'all don't understand. I get it. I clearly made a mistake. I've already got fired. Can you guys stop? Like, literally, I've lost my main job now that I've been here for a year. You just gotta know me to know, man, I'm nothing like that. I don't get down like that in no type of way. Do not let the tattoos fool you for a second, man. I am a great person, great heart.
I feel like she's saying the same. I know I do the same thing, but I feel like she's literally saying the same things over and over again.
All above, I just made a mistake. I genuinely just made a mistake. And I apologize to them kids and the parents. But I guess it's just a sign, man. I need to just focus on the gifts God gave me. You get what I'm saying? Like, they were just a stepping stone. I wasn't supposed to be a substitute teacher, and I'm going to take that for what it is. I have 1,000 gifts, man. So that's what I need to focus on. I did start a GoFundMe, but I really didn't want to start a GoFundMe because I really don't want the free money. So I would just, man, if you would like to help, because I have lost everything, man, I got a link. I have my clothing brand, man. If you can just buy anything out of hand make all my merch, I'll be working. I have something to do to keep me active, since it's gonna be hard for me to find a job. Everybody knows it's everywhere, man. My face is everywhere on every single site. I'm on YouTube. Like, why am I on YouTube? Why are you guys reposting me on YouTube? I hope you guys find the real predators out there, honestly, because it's not me. Like, genuinely, like, no matter how you put it, you ain't gonna find none on my name in that such a way, man. I'm such a great person. If y'all was to meet me for an hour, man, y'all say, man, she ain't nothing like that. And it's just me being honest. Like, I'm just not that type of person, regardless of what type of content I put out there, because I know y'all gonna try to say something about my content, like I said. But, man, if you want to help me out in any way, man, I appreciate it. I genuinely appreciate it, because I literally lost everything, man. It's gonna be so hard for me to find a job. Like, everybody know this now. Like, my face is everywhere. My face is everywhere in a bad way. And
Yeah, because you kind of... But my main gripe with this apology is, right, that the people who are actually impacted, like the families, are an afterthought to her own suffering, which, you know, should she have lost her second job necessarily? Like, do I think that she's, like, actively a danger to children? Maybe not, right? But I think that you have to be very careful about how you interact with children, what you're doing, because you did have an actual impact on these people's lives. Like, you actually cause these people to basically have to deal with cyberbullying. Like, you actually did something and it actually had a tangible impact on these children, and you're not talking about that, you're talking about your own hardships. But let's just look at this GoFundMe before we wrap this video, because I feel like we've been talking for a long time and I know y'all are tired of me, okay? Support me in overcoming hardship. As you may know, I'm the substitute teacher that was recently fired due to my TikTok. Due to the continued backlash, I've not only lost my job substitute teaching, but I've also lost my job as a DSP. I'm now jobless and homeless while in the process of relocating. I'm truly a great person with good intentions who made a bad mistake. Unfortunately, I lost it all at once. My home and my incomes have been ripped away from me overnight. All funds would be towards a new roof over my head and current expenses I'll need. I genuinely appreciate any and everything. Now, she might actually reach her goal here, because the goal is 80% completed. She's at $955. Just to round up my thoughts on this entire situation, I do feel like people on the internet did take it a little bit far. Like, I don't think she is like a catch a predator level like person, right? But I also think that she should have totally taken the time to realize what she was doing, how it's harmful, who she's hurting. And I also think that I'm honestly kind of confused, right? Because if she already had a job as like something else, maybe she was like already struggling and that's why she wanted to take up the substitute teaching job. But to lose your house like instantly, I feel like I need a little bit more context to like, I'm not saying I don't believe it, because this economy is horrible for everybody, right? But I'm just saying, like, that is kind of a crazy series of events. And like, if you were in that situation, I think you should have definitely been a lot more careful about how you interacted and how you went about in the world, right? But this does really bring a lot of conversations about, like, teachfluencing. Is it ethical? Like, what are we going to do as a society when your kids can go to class and be in the background of somebody's TikTok? Should there be specific regulations around this type of stuff? Let me know what y'all think below, because I honestly think that this situation is an extension of what we've seen before, like I was saying earlier, like work basically being turned into content because people are struggling so bad economically, right? That they're turning to content as a potential way to make their big break. But thank you so much for watching. I know this was a longer video. Happy Halloween. This video will probably be coming out the day after Halloween because I'm tired and I don't know if I feel like editing tonight. But I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. And let me know what you think down below about this entire situation. And I'll see you all next time, and not in a cow costume. Bye, everybody.